you like about what you've seen out of Jed the last few weeks?
Jed's continuing to develop and grow, and I think like really address those issues he's had. You know, he's like I said, I think a couple weeks ago we had some plays that weren't. I think Jed would like to have back, but he's taken the approach to go develop and work on correcting those issues. So he's been a pro about it. So those kinds of things have been positive.
Been mostly little things, or what if specifically?
Very much little things, yeah, like little details can make all the difference. And so focusing on that, and just like really with the experience now he's had, kind of recognizing those patterns and working to address those things. So his work at that has been positive for sure.
Obviously, he didn't practice yesterday, so I don't know if he's going to be out for the game. What have you seen out of James, and especially on that left side? Because I know he spent I think most of his playing time has been on the right side.
James? Yeah, I mean James plays both sides. He has to. He's a swing tackle, so yeah, he's got to be able to jump in there at either side. And so one of the drawbacks of being a flex or a swing tackle is you got to really have skills at both sides. But he's taken to the he's done well this week, I think, and he's just working hard at it. So he knows his issues on either side too. So he's working, and we're positive on him.
How about Dewan? What do you see from him week to week?
Dewan is, I think, becoming a better pro, because I think for him, he's got all the physical attributes now. It's just like the nuances, and the repetition has really benefited him. Where he sees things better now, and just getting more experience has been positive for him. Being consistent is the biggest issue, and we've been working through, and I think where we've seen some positive gains there too.
How can you help like a younger, rookie especially, develop that consistency? Is it just like a thing that takes time and
I think
reps?
it does. I think it takes time. I mean, you can talk about it, but like it's the exposure, getting a chance to go against all these top elite rushers and seeing the defenses week to week, being in the building, and just the constant attention to detail. He gets a lot of support, and he's been improving in that regard. So I think. With all the various looks you have to know, and then from our offense, and then the adjustments on defense on a week-to-week basis, he's done well with that, and so definitely making gains.
What are those conversations been like with Dewan, though, like kind of on a week-to-week basis, like pointing out those things to improve, and I guess how does he handle those conversations with you?
He handles them well, and increasingly, well in terms of like where he was when he got here. He was, it was like everything was new, so. And that's true for every rookie, but Dewan has really, I think the culture in the room has helped him. I think just the constant feedback, and then where he sees he has success when he follows follows the instruction and does the right things, and that's where he's really shown some improvement. I think he knows what he has to do now. He trusts in it, and he's putting forth the effort.
His defense have gotten improved over the last 3 weeks, because there's a dramatic shift from weeks 1 through 3 to weeks 4 through 6.
Well, they've got a really talented defense in terms of their roster. They got tons of speed up front. They've got a great front four there. Plus their linebackers are excellent. Their secondary is great. I mean, they're well coached. They've got a good scheme. I think that looking at them, whatever the statistics may have said, the film tells a different story. They're a very good defense, and I think we have a lot of respect for them for sure.
What's been the difference in your guys' run games after the bye? You had those couple of tough games before the bye, and then I think you guys run it better.
The difference, I mean, I don't know, every week we just come out, we have, a new game plan each week, and we're trying to really improve on our technical areas, getting the backs in phase, obviously with losing Nick in the early part of the year. The younger guys stepping up there, understanding the plan, and then getting basically all 11 players on the field tied into the run game, and once we commit to that, it's just a function of doing the right things, and then improving the technique and working together as a unit. And once we get when Coach dials up a run, guys get excited about that, and we believe we can run the ball, but it's a matter of each week improving and refining those critical areas, because it just takes one small breakdown to break up a play. So I think it's really just a collective group unit effort, and being conscious of what things can go wrong and how you have to address those adjustments.
I mean, you guys are running the same things. It wasn't like a significant shift in the play.
I mean, we run. We've definitely run we have core plays, but like every week it's a game plan adjustment thing. So just being tied in on that and making sure, again, like if 9 guys do a great job and then one guy screws something up, it looks like everybody screwed up, you know. But in terms of what we're getting done, just the demand for higher level consistency, better communication, and all that. From a technical standpoint, I think those things improve too as time goes on.
Seahawks, they've added Frank Clark, and it sounds like he might be able to go this weekend. Just how that changes anything for game planning and what he brings and that stuff.
Frank Clark's a great player, and I don't think there's any decline in his play. You watch him play last year, watch him play this year from Denver. Excellent, outstanding edge rusher, and smart, savvy, explosive, strong. Knows how to get to the quarterback. So he just presents one more challenge for us, and on an already talented front four.
These guys, they have 23 sacks, I think it's 5th in the NFL, and they get them from sort of all over, they're spreading them out. So what challenges does that present for you guys?
It's a lot of challenges. I mean, just given that, you're right. I mean, they're all good. There's not like a weak link on the front. So they do a good job of, especially playing up there in Seattle with the noise. So they do a really good job at that, and I think there's just a high level defensive front, so it's a really huge challenge on every aspect of that for us.
Scott, you're always a play away, right? You guys have certainly seen that in your room when a couple guys get banged up. There's a lot of people up this way that are somewhat familiar with Luke Whitworth because he played at Ohio State, but maybe haven't seen or heard much about him in the last couple of months here. Can you give us an idea of his development, his approach, football IQ, the things that he's doing to try to get himself ready so that if his numbers fall, he's ready to go?
Yeah, Luke is, he's a flex player, meaning he has to play both guards and center. So, from a rookie coming in, he's got to make those gains each week, especially this time of the year, because to your point, everyone's one play away. So he puts, he gives his best effort. He comes out and works hard, and I think he's a smart kid. So yeah, we're always trying to improve him and little fundamental aspects of his game in terms of where he has deficiencies. So I think, but we're pleased with his approach to it, and I think it's just a constant evolution, just like everybody else.
Okay.
Thanks, guys.
So, Coach, the players tell us that the best defense in the world mantra originated from you. So can you tell us the genesis of that?
Absolutely. I think that whole mantra really goes into how we keep the focus on the work. I know that our guys as students, on Wednesday through Friday, they're in the meeting room together. And then when we just look at the different teachers that we have, I know that Coach Ben, he does a really good job, him and Jordan, with our defensive line. I know Coach Tarv, they do a really good job, with our guys executing their roles. And I know, Coach Jeff Anderson does a really good job, him and F, in the secondary. So we feel collectively with our shared interest and our shared awareness, I think that really gives us an opportunity.
How have you seen you guys though take to that mantra and throughout the season so far, and really just when we see it on the field, but how does it translate so well on the field?
Say that last part?
I guess how does that mantra translate so well for you guys onto the field, because they embody that, being the best defense in the world?
Absolutely. I think that the biggest thing is we like to execute our role in superior fashion, no matter what the circumstance. So I think that our guys buying into the work, buying into our start mantra, it really starts there. And our guys they've done a really good job keeping the team first. And with that at the forefront of things, I think that really helps us to keep executing.
How do you think Denzel has done this year? I mean, watching him, it seems like he's maybe unlocked something even extra with his physicality, even though he's already obviously a very physical guy.
Sure. I think it really goes back to, just their daily habits in the meeting room. Like I said, on Wednesday through Friday, our guys are in there. They're sharing the information with communication, the alignments, how they're going to do things. And then once we get on the field, just the way that our schedule allots, it allows us to do a lot more walkthroughs. So now the guys can communicate more. The guys are off to the side talking about situational awareness. And now you see that in his play, because great player, but even better person and student. So when he's able to apply that with the engine, with the nerve center of our defense, it really helps it.
Greg and Denzel were talking after the game, and indeed that the Colts were doing seem to be doing a lot more pre-snap motioning and stuff, trying to kind of throw you guys off in terms of of wearing them out pre-snap. How much did you notice that, and how much do you expect to see maybe as you guys played more man, see teams try to do that too, to kind of create leverage?
Absolutely. We like to say, expect the expected. And the biggest thing with that, like on the forefront of how we teach our guys is formations, motions, and splits. So throughout the week, like our guys, they're expecting that from the teams. That way when we do have it, like we're ahead of the plays, we're able to execute it.
How special was that interception that Denzel got? It looked like kind of went backward, when the guy obviously makes you do it, he didn't think Denzel was going to be able to get back to that ball. So what did you see on that?
I saw a young player doing a really good job at doing his job and understanding that we have to have belief in self and trust in others. So I really saw that it was a player that really trusted the other 10 guys on the field, and he executed his role.
MJ, when he got his first one, Denzel said that he was looking at that and he was like, I'm going to compete, I'm going to get my own too, I can't let him beat me. How do you see them kind of use each other's success to boost themselves and motivate themselves on the field?
Sure, it's a beautiful relationship. I think of all of the guys in the room, that like they're doing it obviously for the team, and their notions are in the right motion. So when when those guys are competing for the first pick, that really helps our whole defense, with the whole mantra of getting the ball back for our offense.
What did you see? What were the coaching points after some of the big plays that the Colts got?
Sure. The main thing, keep the focus on the work. Keep the focus on our daily habits. Just like we talked about, just our Wednesday through Friday routine of our guys really communicating with our formations, our motions, our split adjustments, and then finishing the play. I think that's the biggest thing that we got to make sure that we're keeping at the forefront and that we keep adapting.
The Pittman touchdown on him, was that how that went? Did he need to put that on himself?
Yes, yes, ma'am. And I think it's one of those things. It's great to have a young guy take accountability for it. But all in all, with us finishing the plays, with us finishing the play down the field, that's really going to keep helping our defense.
Brandon, you've played and coached in a lot of different places in your career. What is unique about your situation here? Why do you love being here and working with this group of guys?
People. It's a people business. And when we say that, we're talking about top down, talking about from our ownership all the way to our janitors. And obviously our players, they do a really good job like keeping the focus on the team. And I think that unselfishly, I think that this is the best room that I've been in for that reason. Like athletically, like you can be in some rooms and you can argue that, but the guys keeping the focus on the team, keeping the focus on the work, I think that is very impressive for those guys. Yes, sir.